So, welcome back to the freemilesmc, and I sadly have some bad news for you today. The XJ 600 died on me. After I returned from Iceland, the bike was not running that great, and at some point it stopped starting completely. The engine is completely fine, it was something in the carburetors or somewhere else. And I decided to try to fix this myself. And at the end of it, I was not able to fix this. I didn't take it to a mechanic because I did that in the past and it was always quite expensive and not worth the money of what the bike is worth. Working on a motorcycle like this always includes a lot of looking for where the error actually is, which in working hours can become quite expensive. So when going at this myself, I cleaned the carburetors and put them back into the bike, and the bike still wasn't running. So I cleaned them again and again and again. And also I changed the other stuff like spark plugs, I took care of the air filter and tried everything in my power to get this motorcycle back to running order. I even took the carburetors to a mechanic and had them check if everything with the carburetors is alright. So after doing all that and investing all that time, I put everything back together and the motorcycle still wasn't running. Actually, I forgot at this point that after the first time of cleaning the carburetors, the bike ran fine and I drove it for a few days. But then I let it sit in the garage for 2 weeks because I was working on a work project, and when I came back, nothing was working anymore. And I was back to working on this machine. We had a lot of problems during the Iceland trip, and if I would repair this motorcycle myself, I don't know if I would have the confidence in it running reliably completely during the next trip. And that is a kind of anxiety that I don't want anymore. I, for my own taste, experienced enough of this anxiety because I rode a 500 euro motorcycle for all this time. That is probably the biggest case of survivor's bias, because let's be honest, normally this stuff that I do wouldn't work out. And I always had really cheap motorcycles, even before I had the channel. I had a Yamaha XJ that I still own and a Honda XL. And I broke down many times. I'm kind of tired for now of breaking down. Luckily with the XJ 600, I didn't experience that many breakdowns after all. But I'm just kind of tired of the anxiety of it happening. In some moments, you really want to be able to trust your motorcycle and your mechanical skills. I mean, we have been in the Sahara Desert with this. And if you break down there and there's no help, it will just not be a good experience at all. So I want to be able to fix this motorcycle properly myself and then want to refeature it on the channel. Until then, I plan on getting a different motorcycle. Also, one reason that played into it, that I currently have an offer for a motorcycle from the place where I work that is a lot below market value and would run the same operating costs as the XJ 600, because the XJ 600 was always quite pricey in repairs because I didn't know what I was doing and had to get it to a mechanic. And also at this point, it's kind of hard finding a mechanic for this motorcycle at all because it's so run down and is such a cheap motorcycle that many garages just refuse to work on it. I know a garage that would work on it, but I would probably spend so much money that it would be better invested into another motorcycle. Like, I started this motorcycle channel with this bike and I kind of want to do a little bit of a throwback to all the great moments we had with it. Today I will be presenting you guys my new motorbike. This is the Yamaha XJ 600 Diversion. It's crazy to think that the first proper video on this YouTube channel was a review of this motorcycle. And also I took this motorcycle on my first motorcycle camping trip all the way to Morocco. On the way I had to overcome big mountains like the Pyrenees and rode the XJ through a sandstorm. And all that to explore the beauties of Morocco, from the Atlas to the Sahara Desert. And also the XJ has seen in the time of this channel some racetrack action on the Nordschleife. Also on the XJ I experienced my first ride out, and with all the chaos I was super happy of not ending that day in the back of the police car. And in the same winter my XJ made the second motorcycle trip on this channel possible, all the way through Italy. And of course the XJ also survived the most recent trip through Iceland, with loads of off-roading and a few challenges. But even the most extreme challenges got managed by the XJ extremely well. And after all this, I really hope that I can make the XJ return in good fighting shape for another adventure. So what's the plan now? The next motorcycle trip will begin soon, and stick around till next week and then I can show you my new motorcycle for the next trip. If you like what I do here on YouTube, the links to my other socials and my Patreon are down in the description. See you soon, guys.